Frozen holiday meals promise a quick Christmas dinner. No prep, no stress, no mess. But some of them are so overloaded with salt, chemicals, fake gravy, and mystery meats that they barely qualify as food. Before you toss one into your cart, just in case, here are 10 frozen holiday meals to avoid at all costs. 1. The complete turkey dinner with 2,000 milligrams of sodium. Some frozen turkey meals pack an entire day's worth of sodium in one tray. More salt than your body wants in 24 hours. Manufacturers drown dry turkey slices in salty gravy to hide the blandness. The stuffing is mushy, the turkey is rubbery, and the aftertaste is pure salt water. If your heart rate rises just reading the nutrition label, avoid it. 2. Frozen ham dinners with sugar-glazed everything. Holiday ham dinners seem festive until you flip the box. You'll find high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, artificial smoke flavor, sugar-packed glazed packets. Some ham trays contain more sugar than a dessert, and the meat has a strange rubber texture from excessive processing. If it uses smoke flavor instead of Raol smoking, skip it. 3. Turkey in stuffing bowls made from mechanically separated meat. Some single-serve holiday bowls use leftover turkey scraps, including mechanically separated meat. This creates that mushy, powdery texture that never feels like real turkey. The stuffing is often gummy because it's soaked in thickened gravy. If the ingredients list reads like a science experiment, leave in the freezer. 4. Mac and cheese holiday meals loaded with fake cheese. Holiday mac and cheese trays are supposed to be creamy and comforting, but many contain cheese product, modified starch, artificial cheddar coloring, thickeners. The result is a grainy, oily, neon orange cheese sauce that tastes more like chemicals than comfort food. If the cheese isn't cheese, the meal isn't worth eating. 5. Frozen roast beef holiday platters with brown gravy mix. Frozen roast beef dinners often rely on brown gravy mix, which is code for caramel coloring, corn syrup solids, artificial beef flavors. The beef itself is usually overcooked, dry, and metallic tasting. And that shiny, holiday gravy, it's basically salty brown gel. Avoid any dinner where the gravy has more ingredients than the meat. 6. Frozen lasagna labeled as holiday meal with cheap oils. Some brands repackage their regular lasagna as holiday lasagna, but they don't improve the quality. Most cheap frozen lasagnas use palm oil, artificial cheese flavor, powdered tomato mix, rehydrated meat crumbles. The cheese never melts properly, and the sauce tastes strangely sweet. If it melts in a microwave but never browns, it's not real lasagna.
Get into the holidays, some food safety tips, which is really important, mainly because a lot of people will be cooking who probably don't. What are some of the biggest things you think the community and the health department learned from that?
How to properly handle and prepare food. When we go out, talk to owners, make sure that all of their staff have been trained on handling.
7. Holiday pot pies with hydrogenated oils in the crust. A holiday pot pie should be buttery, flaky, warm, and cozy. Instead, many frozen versions are filled with hydrogenated oils, vegetable shortening, synthetic butter flavors. The crust becomes dense and greasy, not flaky. Inside, the turkey chunks are tiny, the peas are mushy, and the gravy is thickened with gums. If the crust contains trans fats, step away.
It's one of those things that I really don't think a lot of people realize that's one of y'all's jobs, right?
Yeah,
the health department
and
has
it's
so
a
many
big,
layers
it's a big job. It is. Yeah, I think one of them, what we talked about the last hour, was no need to wash your poultry, so your turkey or your chicken. If you don't properly clean or sanitize afterwards, then you can spread salmonella to your family members. And the reason being, when the water splashes on the meat in the sink, the bacteria can spread all around the countertop, the sink, all over.
8. Family-size holiday meals with mystery stuffing. These big shareable trays look convenient. Turkey, gravy, stuffing, and mashed potatoes all in one. But the stuffing is usually overly salty, thickened with cellulose, flavored with artificial sage. And the mashed potatoes? They're often instant flakes rehydrated with vegetable oil. If the meal costs less than buying raw ingredients, quality was sacrificed.
What's the safest way to thaw out meat?
Yeah, the safest way. So so you want 24 hours for every 4 to 5 pounds of meat.
Oh.
That's the safest way. If you use the microwave, the biggest thing with the microwave, you have to immediately cook the poultry right after throwing it in the microwave. If you decide to do that, I'm not recommending it, but I understand some people decide to do it, just run a steady small stream of water to clean off your meat if you want to, and then wash your hands thoroughly, warm soapy water for at least 20 seconds before and afterwards.
9. Frozen shepherd's pie with artificial meat flavoring. Shepherd's pie is supposed to taste hearty and savory, but some frozen versions use beef-style flavoring to mask low-quality meat. The mashed potato topping often has palm oil, preservatives, artificial butter flavor, and the vegetable layer is mostly mush. If flavoring appears more than once, don't buy it.
And well, we're thinking of obviously Thanksgiving, so we'll talk turkey, but just in general, a lot of people keep frozen chicken and then
The other thing, you can also thaw it in cold tap water. Just make sure you change the water every 30 minutes. Recommend against thawing on the countertop. I think a lot of people set the meat out at 7 a.m., start cooking the other dishes, and then come back at 1 or 2 o'clock. That is breeding grounds for bacteria. And then make sure you properly clean and sanitize. So to sanitize, 1 tablespoon of bleach and 1 gallon of water.
10. Holiday breakfast casseroles filled with stabilizers and fake eggs. Frozen holiday breakfast bakes often look hearty, but inside you'll find powdered eggs, processed sausage, shredded cheese product, anti-caking agents, corn syrup solids. The texture is sponge-like, the cheese doesn't melt naturally, and the sausage tastes synthetic. If the eggs aren't real eggs, it's not a real breakfast.
Yeah,
Put it on the
it's
side.
risky, but again, I understand it's a practice for some people. Definitely we recommend keeping it outside of the turkey or the chicken. If you do decide, what we recommend is make sure that internal temperature get to 165 degrees, so stick it into the stuffing directly. And then once you remove the turkey, you actually want to let it sit for 20 minutes so the stuffing can continue to cook for an additional 20 minutes inside before you start slicing it. The other thing, kids should not be in the kitchen because there's a certain bacteria called Yersinia that's common in pork. And children are more susceptible to contracting it and becoming ill.
How to spot a bad frozen holiday meal quick guide. Before you buy any frozen holiday dinner, check for these red flags. Sodium above 900 milligrams per serving. Mechanically separated meat. Cheese product or cheese blend. HFCS. Artificial smoke flavor. Caramel color. Hydrogenated oils. Modified starch as ingredient number 2 or number 3. Good frozen meals exist, but only if the ingredient list looks like real food.